The following is a presentation of Pod Media Works.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the Totally Rad Movie Podcast. I got the number right this time,
Well
ladies and
done.
gentlemen. I am Scott,
Hey, it's Larry.
and we have a special guest, Clint, in there. I forgot to say, the Totally Rad Movie Podcast, where we take a epically awesome or awesomely bad movie from the 80s or 90s, and we review it for your viewing pleasure. As I said before, Clint, you're on the podcast here. You've been a big fan of the stuff we're doing. You picked the movie for this week, so tell us, at least to start with, what movie is it that you picked for us to talk about?
Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here again. And I, of course, went with a classic from 1992, Wayne's World. SNL parody turned into a movie produced by Lorne Michaels. I was in middle school when it came out, so it stuck with me, and I wanted you guys to do something with it, and I'm happy to be here with you. That was a surprise, but here we go.
Perfect.
Hey, before you jump in, Scott, I want to show you my shirt. I think you'll appreciate this more than most people, but
I can already see what.
Nice.
Is it sad that the second I saw the red arc and the back of the head, I knew exactly what shirt you were wearing?
Not at all.
That's
Not
awesome.
at all.
Oh man. So, well, go through it here. Clint, kind of tell everybody about yourself. I know you've been on we'll say our sister show, right?
Right.
The STS Guys.
Big sister show.
Big sister show, right? But this is the first time being on Totally Rad. So just for the folks that are listening, kind of give a rundown of who is Clint.
Sure. So Clint at Collector Clint on Twitter and Instagram. I'm a podcaster as well. I'm part of the Four Dorksmen podcast at _Dorksmen on Twitter and Instagram. I'm a recurring guest. I call myself on the Geek Together podcast, geek_together, Twitter, Geek Together Pod on Instagram. And a big fan of the STS Guys. I've been listening to them for a while. Make sure, I think it's episode 4. Larry's on the Four Dorksmen with us. So, podcasters unite as we keep the trend going.
Yeah, thank you
Perfect.
for joining
Well,
us.
thank
Right? We say Scott says fan, but you're a friend too. We met up.
Oh,
at San
sure,
Diego
but I'm also a
Comic-Con.
fan.
yeah.
I'm also
Oh,
a
yeah.
fan. Big fan.
But friend.
I mean,
That's the thing. We have actual photos, photographic evidence of us together. So that's
Cool. So Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
so. Go with it. Normally, this is something I assign to Larry, Clint, just because Larry's usually the one that hasn't seen most of these movies.
Sure.
But since you're the one that picked this movie, I'm going to put this on you. I want that Spark Notes version. Wayne's
Okay.
World. What's the movie about? Tell me the plot.
Let's go very high level and work our way down. But it is about two, I'm going to say, high school graduates. They never talk about it, but they're at that age. They're outside of, they look like they're adults, basically. They can drink, who have their current public access cable program called Wayne's World. It's two guys, Wayne Campbell, Garth Algar. And this plot of this one is just about kind of their life and then them doing the show professionally and how that goes or doesn't go, depending how you look at it, is basically what it's about. Very high level. There's a lot that happens, and we'll get into that. But
No,
that's it.
That's a great recap.
Yeah.
That is it. Like, I mean, like some movies have like a very intricate plot. This one's pretty basic.
This
Like you
one's
said,
pretty
it's the
basic.
guys who are doing their own show, and they get picked up to be like, I don't know, I guess on a network. They never really clarified that.
No,
So,
they didn't.
They don't really clarify it. And to be fair, the guy who's like paying for what network has somebody else pay for the show? Like, that's the plot point that I'm like, wait, they're getting the dude that owns all the arcades to pay for the show, but it's a network? Or is he just paying for like the pilot episode so that they're going to shop it? They're not very clear on what actually is going on.
Yeah, they're not. But I mean, you got to remember, this was 1992, so things were different then. They're actually public, self funded channels back then. It wasn't all the networks necessarily. So
To be fair, I actually, and Larry can attest to this, I did try to get us on public
Oh,
access.
You did, yeah. The STS guys.
well, now that you're at 100 episodes, it's time to try again.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It was not as easy as you thought.
No, it's still a thing though, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah,
it is. But I'm glad it's a thing.
Oh yeah, it's cool, right? It's kind of a gateway, but I kind of feel like YouTube is like the public access of 2019.
Yeah.
Well, you could even spend, hypothetically a couple $1,000s and really make a nice setup for you to do your own thing on YouTube. I mean, really nice. So you wouldn't have to use the public stuff or the cable access stuff anymore.
No,
I just wanted it for the fact that I could be like, come tune in on Channel 7 on Saturday nights.
Yeah, 2 a.m.
I was gonna say they give you a 3 a.m. time slot.
Yeah.
I'd still watch, but
where is it okay to drop like F-bombs onto you? It's after like 11, right?
Right.
Like we would have to be in that 11 a.m. to like 2 a.m. slot. We'd be competing with Toonami or something. So let's get into it though. Going into the movie, it starts off. Oddly enough, it starts off with a commercial, right? Like
it does, doesn't it?
For somebody else, for a guy's arcades, and then it's Rob Lowe,
arcade.
Yeah,
Rob Lowe and this girl that never shows back up again, who watches Wayne's World, and he's the what do you call it? We'll say the executive, right? He's like a pitch man.
Yeah, he's a
like
salesman,
producer or whatever. Gets the idea like we're gonna get these guys. I'm gonna make some money off of this.
I guess right. He's looking for the next big thing.
Yeah,
and Rob Lowe too.
Rob Lowe.
Oh yeah.
Larry and I had the discussion that this is probably the first movie I remember Rob Lowe in. I know that he had some like other stuff for earlier, but like this was the first like I know Rob Lowe because of this and Austin Powers.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't realize that either, but I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I forgot about Austin Powers because I told Scott at lunch when we were talking about it a little bit. I'm like, dude, and Rob Lowe was in it. Like before Parks and Rec,
right?
I didn't really care about Rob Lowe, so
he was the bad guy in Tommy Boy too, right?
Yes. He's the brother's got a hug. Yeah.
There you go.
So does anybody else catch too that at one point he drops a Chris Traeger line? I know we're all Parks and Rec fans where he's like, and it just literally like standing up, like he actually does a like we got a little bit of Chris Traeger beforehand in this movie.
Yep.
Obviously, it wasn't that great back in the day, but now watching it, having a character built off of like that phrase,
right?
That whole scene, he's kind of right. He's overacting. And he sounds just like Chris Traeger. It was great.
I very much enjoyed that scene, just as like that's like the proto work for this character that he does later. So
good call.
To go through, who as a like early 20s person didn't get in their friend's shitty car?
Oh my god!
Collect all their friends. Crank the music up as loud as you can and drive to whatever like sleazy bar that you could imagine. Like, I think that scene to me hits like every Saturday night.
Oh yeah,
as me in college.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Right. All right, we're getting the crew together. We're rolling in his Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, 4 deep. Right, you got 4 guys in the car because not everybody has a car.
Right.
And you turn the radio up as loud as you can. And you blast Queen.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. That made our generation know what Bohemian Rhapsody is. We knew who Queen was, but not necessarily that song. So
honestly, I didn't even really know who Queen was. I kind of only like when even like when like Queen was starting to take off again, like right, and they made the movie and stuff. Like I still equated Freddie Mercury to Wayne's World. Like, that's about all I really know about Queen. Like, my parents weren't Queen fans.
Sure.
I never really listened to them. It's like, it's so iconically tied to Wayne's World.
Absolutely. I bought the soundtrack just for that on cassette, by the way.
Back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I still have it, I think. Anyway,
I do believe looking onto they said that this is responsible for like the Queen, like resurgence in the 90s and like their popularity bump back in the US again was because of them cranking the movie. I did read some fun trivia about that scene though. apparently Dana Carvey did not actually memorize or like rehearse that scene. So if you go back and watch it, he's like lip syncing to it because he doesn't actually know the words.
But you know that's appropriate for Garth's character too.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like, I know what you're talking about. And like they show him and like Wayne's really animated, you know, folding his arms saying "Mamma Mia," but then they look over at Garth driving and he's just barely moving his lips.
Right.
You know, so absolutely good call.
And it makes it feel more real too, right? Rather than
Absolutely.
like super perfect lip syncing. You're just winging it.
Right.
I approve.
I do love Phil in the back seat during that scene. Just denied until they get to the climax scene or this climax in the music, and then he's into it.
Yeah.
Everyone does. Once you get to that thing, you can't help but headbang.
You cannot. Even watching the movie, I did it, and I haven't had long hair like this since for a very long time, so it felt weird.
Right. So they go to the bar. Right.
Well, first they go to the coffee place.
They go to the coffee place,
which is awesome.
Stan Mikita's Donuts.
Stan Mikita's, that's right.
Right? That's the only reason I know who Stan Mikita is too, is because
Chicago Blackhawk legend. Come on.
Well, then you got Ed. I almost said Ed. That's not right.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill in there. Yeah.
Whose character is probably one of my favorite in the movie. Just talking about murder every time you see him, and they just brush. They just no one gives a shit.
They're just like, okay, he's here 24/7. We get it. Give us our donuts. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, his like, you know, if you do it and kill a man in war, you're a hero. But if you kill a man out of passion. You're a murderer. Like what the hell is that?
Ryan Matsumoto in the chat says, "I need a gremlin." He's absolutely right. I need my own Mirthmobile.
Yeah,
absolutely
awesome.
So we
can't be too expensive. Like that's a reasonable goal. You can do that,
right?
I might be able to find you one. Like there's plenty of wrecking yards down here that probably have those.
Oh, but yeah, 5 guys in that car. Go on.
Yeah, so we go on. We go into the club, which is where I really want to talk about because this is in the 90s. What club had flaming signs?
Oh my god!
Back in the day.
I mean, I didn't grow up in Chicago, but wow.
I mean, I grew up in podunk towns that didn't have a club anyway, but I have never seen, even to this day, I still don't see places that have
the lit sign with
like
the gas,
like a sign about with like fire coming out of it here.
Yeah,
like it was.
I think the big city of Chicago really had that.
Yeah, like I'm like, what was it called? The gaslight or something like that. And yeah, it's like burning. And
Meatloaf's the bouncer. I love that.
Yeah, it's Meatloaf the bouncer, and you got talking about the shitty Beatles, right? Like probably my favorite band name. And next time we do any sort of trivia, I'm on Team Shitty Beatles.
Holding to that.
Yeah, I 100% Team Shitty Beatles all the way.
Just don't suck as much as they do.
Yeah. So we go into the club, and here's the thing I have. It's supposed to like be a heavy metal bar, right? Mm-hmm. There's all these biker dudes and like heavy metal guys inside there. But you have Tia Carrera up there playing like not even metal, like kind of punky,
almost pop rock,
Janis Joplin style music. I'm like, what heavy metal bar plays that type of music? Like, Garth tases like some big huge biker guy in there.
What do you want, dweeb?
Yeah, and it's like that's just Saturday. Like no one gives a shit that he tases some dude.
No. Well, not to mention that Stacy falls through the window and no one even notices.
Right. So which is, I would say, probably pretty common in a heavy metal bar. But like,
apparently.
What type of music? And guys like Wayne and Garth with the party on, catchphrase. Who goes to to a heavy metal bar?
I know.
Well, apparently a lot of people, because this was a very large.
It's a large venue.
Popular bar. Like, it's not this little dive bar with 20 people in it. Like, it's hopping, man.
Yeah, like as a kid, I just thought like that's the coolest place ever. But as an adult, I'm like, this doesn't fit.
No. I want to go. I want to go to that place if it exists.
I would go to.
That would be awesome. Somebody needs to make it. Just as like a theme bar.
A bar full of metalheads that are playing like rock music and punk. Like I'd go.
We need to make that happen for San Diego Comic-Con next year. That'll be one of the offsites.
That would be cool. No, Scott, they can't play good music. They have to play the Tia Carrera songs on loop.
Oh my god.
Oh,
All you
please
get
no.
is that.
She gets her. Yeah. No.
Anyway.
Yeah. So moving on. We'll. I'm assuming at a certain point in the show we'll get back to that part of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because out of three of us, I can guarantee one of us is going to bring that up later.
Oh, yeah.
But so kind of moving on, we get the offer of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get one of the best things, which Clint and I did when we were getting ready to go live, which is the confusion about how you count down to go into a
You're nodding.
thing. The 5, 4, 3.
Garth, stop mouthing the words.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So coming out here. One of the best jokes of the entire movie is during the next scene too, when they're doing the rehearsals during the blue screen, and they go through like, we're in Texas and howdy y'all, and they're like, or we could go to Delaware, and it's like, hi, we're in Delaware. Probably my favorite joke out of the whole thing, because like, I know of the state of Delaware, but I could not tell you anything about the state of Delaware.
Well, even the postcard had a bridge.
It was just
a random
a
bridge
postcard, and
I
they're
don't know
like,
what bridge. Yeah, exactly.
they're like, we're in Delaware. Like the whole thing of it. As an adult who does not know his geography as well as I thought I did, it hit me really hard. Like that little aspect of the joke.
But obviously you're not alone, because it was very funny. The whole thing was very funny. But yeah, way to end it.
Their little tie-in with using the green screen was quite good. But so we're good. I guess we'll kind of go through here. As we discover, though, Rob Lowe is not such a good guy, right? Like he is not just in it to try to help. According to his calendar, his goal is to
that's right.
Sign and exploit small town TV show for money. So, I mean,
sucks for them,
right? And that's just Thursday, right? Like for him. So we find out that his whole goal is to basically cash in and screw everybody over and make himself look good in the process here. And we do. Apparently, there's some animal loving accusations that get thrown around during the live broadcast from Wayne that gets him fired from his own show.
There's proof.
He has pictures, right?
That's right.
And kind of everything falls apart, right? They kind of pit all these main characters against each other, kind of as he said, she said kind of situation, right? So
absolutely.
It all falls down, but then they hatch the plan to bring everybody back. What is that plan?
That plan, I'm trying to think exactly the best way to explain it, is first of all, Garth is apparently super genius because he can reroute satellites and get television feeds different places, which
he can send a video feed to a limo.
Right.
Yeah.
He can pinpoint it. It's pretty impressive. After they luckily get the advice from the security guard of Chris Farley at the Alice Cooper concert.
Right. I forgot about Alice Cooper. We skipped that one. Oh my God.
There's a lot here. It's all right.
That is the best part of one of the best parts of the movie is the Alice Cooper history lesson on Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's the only town to have 3 socialist mayors.
Yeah.
This guy know how to party or what?
Yeah. And he's like, I'm glad you asked, Dave.
Very matter of fact, not Alice Cooper. Like,
not what you expect, at least.
Exactly. Maybe that's what he's like. I don't know.
If you've met him in person, he is more like that than you think.
I believe that, actually.
But it's just like, obviously, he comes out from the Be My Frankenstein, right? That he's playing in there with the makeup still on, and then goes into like an impromptu like history lesson on Milwaukee and where it gets its name.
Milwaukee,
yeah.
Right.
And it's as you brought up, it's socialist mayors and everything. So yeah, I have to say to Alice Cooper.
Yes, agreed, 100%. And to be honest, and this is sad, I didn't know who Alice Cooper was till this show either. You know, another music icon I didn't really know. I mean, I didn't even know School Was Out for Summer was his until after this movie. You know,
no, that's fair. Yeah.
I do believe, you know, since college, I've lived in the state here where Alice Cooper is. So, you know, I've lucked out, been able to go to his restaurant. I've met him a couple of times.
Oh, nice.
So at least, you know, for a while, I've had some awareness. My family is all old rockers anyway, you know, AC/DC and all those things. So I was very
classic, not old. It's classic. Get it right. Well,
there we go.
He's back.
I tried to hit mute. I tried to hit mute and hit the wrong button and drop myself. I'm back, everybody. Hello.
Whew.
False alarm.
Apparently, I think the mailman dropped off a package and my dogs just went ape shit.
Oh, so that's time of year.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I do love the Alice Cooper. Who, but you know, I picture him now as the golfer from that. Was it an Apple commercial where he was golfing and it was totally back? He had the Apple Watch on. Anyway, that's who he is. Yeah. We all know it.
Yeah.
But yes, you go to the Alice Cooper concert, and then after that, of course, things fall apart, like you guys mentioned. And I'll let you continue from there.
Yeah. So they get it routed, and then we get to the end. I'm not going to go into kind of the whole thing. Let's just put it this way: there are multiple endings to this movie. We have kind of the final end here. I will be honest. For a while, I'm going to save this, actually. I want to save this because I wasn't going to do this, but I am going to do it.
All right, do it.
I'm going to bring it up a little bit later.
Well, but it ends. They get their revenge on Rob Lowe. They do.
They get their revenge. Depending on which ending you see, they get their revenge on Rob Lowe. So we'll go through the different endings. So there's the horrible ending, which is Wayne gets dumped. He finds out his ex-girlfriend is pregnant, and she says it's his. He loses basically his show. His house burns down, and basically it's like the apocalypse, right, for him. Like, that's the apocalypse ending. You have a random Scooby-Doo ending where they pull off Rob Lowe's mask and it's Old Man Withers.
Reggie.
And then there's the good ending where everything works out and Rob Lowe gets made a fool, but then learns a lesson, so everything's all okay in the end, right? And so like everyone's like, "I've learned my lesson," and then it ends. So, ruh-roh, yeah. So, all right. So now it's time. I think we've kind of brought down the movie. I think it's time to go through, as with all kind of movies that we've done here. We got those parts of the movie that we love, and the parts that we just don't really sit right with us. I mean, we make fun of movies, but there are certain points that we just do not like. I'm going to start with those ones, if you guys don't mind. So we're going to start with the totally bogus moment of the movie.
Totally bogus.
All right, Clint.
You want me to go first?
You're the guest. You're going first. What is that totally bogus moment for you?
The totally bogus moment for me is the last performance by Crucial Taunt in Wayne's basement. I understand why team
Ballroom Blitz.
Yeah, Ballroom Blitz. I see it. That's how great it was. I don't even remember the song, but the
man in the back said, "Everyone attack!"
And the thing is, I like that song. I knew that song, but Tia Carrera, and I didn't realize this when I watched this back in '92, is awful in that role. She barely touches the bass. You can obviously tell it's not her singing. And I know the band's actually doing their thing, but it's just so hard to watch.
So apparently she did sing, but they had to go back in post and try to fix it, and that's the fixed version that you hear.
Oh my god! And I mean, but even if she did sing it, it still doesn't match. Yeah. Like there's parts where she's that very end screeching part. And you just look at it and you're like, there's no possible chance that woman is making that noise right now.
Yeah. I have to go, and I'm going to expand yours just a little bit and just say all of Tia Carrera's singing.
Really, that was going to be my totally bogus moment too. It was just Tia Carrera. Like, she's okay.
I get why they used her. She's an attractive woman. She fit the role. You know, I get it, but She cannot
She's
surf.
from Hawaii, apparently, according to Ryan.
Which ups her in our book, of course, Ryan.
Yeah, of course.
But she, it's and True Lies love her in that movie, But
Oh yeah, no, like she's been great in other stuff.
right,
Yeah.
And to be honest, back in the day, I thought it was amazing. Like, I was like, this is like the ultimate woman, right?
Right. And don't get me wrong. I mean, she's hot. That's what the whole reason she's in the movie.
Why?
But watch it now. I'm like, a couple of times I was like,
I squirm.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, show the drummer again. Do something.
Yeah, like something else. Like, so move on. So to me,
I'm sorry to take yours, by the way, Larry.
In general,
okay.
Larry and I have to come up with multiples because we tend to pick the same thing.
I did too, though, just in case. So,
but to be fair though, like it's a really good movie. Like I don't have a backup because most of the moments hold up. There's nothing really weird or bad, tasteless jokes or anything like that. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, I can give you a second one to fill in for you.
All right, what's your backup?
My backup is the scene where Russell comes down the stairs and Garth, for whatever reason, this is in the studio, has that giant headset helmet on, and he's sitting there working on God knows what with the giant hand. And they start talking about, well, I want him to have a show, and he goes, I fear change, and starts beating the shit out of the hand. I get that they're trying to say they don't want to do it, but that was already established multiple times up at that point, and it did need to be said again. It just didn't. And it wasn't funny.
So I guess apparently the whole thing of that was he's trying to build a robot, right? Like, and that's his start of the robot. But like, explain that better. Like,
Yeah.
Did you just try to establish that to let us know that he's kind of a genius before he does his thing later? Like,
I think
there's a better way to do that. I agree. Like that scene could have been explained better. If the hand was jumping to try to, attack Rob Lowe, then like, okay, then explain that better. Like, don't just like, we don't know what was going on. With
I felt like it was something like I saw at Spencer's Gifts back in the day. Is really what I thought of when I saw that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's not the best of hands.
No. What's yours, Scott?
All right. So this one's going to make people mad, but it is the multiple endings aspect of it. I like it. It's a good idea, but I don't like the way that they handled it. Well, like they went too quick. They glazed over it. I think trying to expand out them a little bit would have been better, but it was like such a quick hit. Like, we're going to do this thing. And they make fun of movies with multiple endings, but most movies back then, when they had the multiple endings, you only knew of one of them. Like, you heard like they shot another ending of this movie, but audience didn't like it, and so we got a different one. But like, there was no DVD extras back then. Like, no one knew. Like, no one actually saw the alternate ending of the movie. So trying to bring in like the alternate ending thing today works, but I think back then you're like, why are they doing this? Like, just end the movie. You have the setup for everything to work out. Just end it that way. And you could throw in some different jokes.
I think you nailed it, dude. Like, I thought it was like ahead of its time.
I did too, actually. I thought
like it was good.
And maybe that's what it was for me. Is it's just too like, it was something that would have been like a DVD, like making fun of DVD extras before there were DVD extras to me. And I'm like, it just didn't. You're trying to make fun of movies back at that time, but no one knew that movies at that time did that.
Yeah, I think they were
other than the movie Clue. Like, I bring up Clue as my alternate to how you handle multiple endings. Right?
Well,
you have a more drawn out, longer ending. You see all the consequences, and then they're like, "But that's not really what happened." And then they go back and start over.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I could get behind that. I'm Larry. I like how they did it, and like that. Maybe I like that they did it, but I could definitely see some benefit of them expanding it a little bit, like
a couple minutes.
Well, even that, like, show Wayne at the end of the first ending, at a radio show, just miserable, and Garth doing who knows what, something like that. I could get behind the expanding it and just doing it so quickly, except for the middle ending. The middle ending
could stay exactly as it is.
That one was so good. Yeah. And like, that's one of those things too that's become kind of like almost a cliche joke, but they were doing it in 92.
Right.
Like, it was still fresh and funny. Like, I feel like that's a thing now is right. People are like, "Oh, I was going to get you meddling kids." Like, that's just the thing now.
Right.
But I could see where you're coming from with that. So, I could definitely see that.
So I actually brought in a backup just in case, though.
Oh, what's your
And it
backup
has
then?
nothing to do with the movie itself, though.
Uh-oh.
So it's the version of the movie that I watched. So I watched a digital rip of the movie, right? Like a digital copy, like a streamed version. So there's a scene when he's trying to pick up Excalibur, his ultimate guitar that he wants to buy.
Oh, yeah.
And he picks up the guitar and he starts to play Stairway to Heaven. And he's
Yeah.
interrupted by the
sales guy.
clerk, the sales guy. And he's like, hey, and he points to a sign that says, no Stairway to Heaven. But in my version, he didn't start playing Stairway to Heaven because they lost the rights to that riff.
Oh,
so he
really?
plays something different. It's definitely not Stairway to Heaven, but he still points to a sign that says no Stairway to Heaven. And so I was like, but that wasn't even like that wasn't the intro. That was not even the right song. So like it was not a bad on the movie itself because that joke is actually pretty cool.
Right.
It's really good.
But it was just the idea of the rip. Like as a guy who played like a bass throughout most of the time, like everyone would be like, I know how to play the bass, and you'd hand it to them and they play fucking Smoke on the Water, right? Every time, bum, 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 bum. And so as a guy who played the bass, every time somebody would be like, I put up a sign because of Wayne's World in my, like on my amp that said, no Smoke on the Water. So as a person who really appreciates that scene, it was like heartbreaking to see that he did not play Stairway to Heaven before he gets cut off.
So you're saying he was totally bogus?
It was totally bogus. Yeah, it was. I was like, what? Like,
The free internet version of Wayne's World.
Exactly.
Totally
yeah. So, but this movie does not have that many bogus moments. It has way more rad moments. I actually have a couple, but we're gonna start with that totally rad moment.
Like totally rad.
So, Clint, we put you on the spot first. You're going again.
Okay, I
totally
do
rad
a couple
part
too
of the movie.
But I'll do. You know what? I think my absolute favorite part of this movie now. I don't know if it always has been, but now is when they're around the crafts table and they're talking whatever, and Benjamin, Rob Lowe's character, comes up and starts talking about corporate sponsorship. And they do that spiel about all these other, how they won't sell out while selling out with other products. Like, it's the taste of a new generation with Pepsi. And, that was they do Pizza Hut. My favorite, I think, is yellow, or is Nuprin. Man, this is giving me such a headache. Try these. So I love
is it Adidas that Garth has like the
Reebok.
Reebok.
Because Reebok
entire,
was 90s,
yeah. The entire Reebok like hat.
People just do stuff for
wristbands,
money. And that's just like, really sad.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like,
while he's like eating Doritos, like holding the bag there. Like,
yes, and it's the choice of a new generation. Yeah, I mean, I just love that part. Maybe it's the marketing background in me or whatever, but I just laugh out loud when I see that every time. I know it's coming. I know what they're going to say. I know what's going on, but can't help it. That's my favorite.
It's a little cheesy, but it's a good cheesy.
It's really cheesy.
Like,
I think
2019 viewing too, you get a little bit of nostalgia with those retro logos.
Absolutely. The Doritos bag, to me, first off, I was like,
what is that?
Oh, holy crap, I forgot Doritos used to look like that. They weren't always red nacho cheese bags.
Yeah,
like
exactly. Like, I think that makes it all that, like, it's weird that you get a scene that's actually better in 2019 than in 1992. That's one of them.
I wonder if they still make Nuprin. I should go look. I don't know if they even still make it anymore.
No,
I don't think so.
Anyway, I mean, but we all knew what it was, so anyway,
right?
Good question.
We still all know. We're like, oh yeah, I remember that shit.
Nuprin,
kind of. I don't know.
Either way,
good old Tylenol.
Right, Advil all the way, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that's mine.
So it is a very, very good choice, Larry. What about you? What is your totally rad moment?
So I think the thing I liked most about Wayne's World was like all the random stuff they stuck in. Like the Scooby-Doo ending, which is really cool. But my favorite is when they go to Milwaukee for the Alice Cooper's concert. They're getting to the venue and they see the brewery from Laverne and Shirley.
I knew you were going to do the Laverne and Shirley thing.
The Laverne and Shirley.
How would I not have called that you redid the Schlemiel, Schlemazel.
Which I said on the STS Guys one time. I don't remember why, but that came out of my mouth.
It was a Wayne's World reference. Well done.
Yeah.
It's I love like old sitcom references, and that was perfect. I love that scene. Yeah, it was awesome.
When they open the door.
Yeah, and they recreated it like almost shot for shot.
Oh, I
but
know.
They did. Like, I mean,
Oh,
was it
man.
Wayne that has the
The
bandana?
bandana?
White bandana over
His
the
hat.
hair? Yeah,
Yeah,
over his
Garth-
hat.
Garth has the like yarn G on his sweater, just like Laverne did. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, and then they realize, like, what are we doing? We have backstage tickets to Alice Cooper, and then they
Gotta
go.
go.
Right. That is a very good one. I implicitly stayed away from that, Larry, knowing that you'd bring that up at some point here. So I got a couple of things here that I love about this movie. Like, I was gonna say, my actual totally rad moment is a quick cameo that they have in this thing. It is the T-1000 that shows up.
Yes.
Like, it's like, have you seen this boy? And then, and then he drives away. Like, considering that, that Terminator 2 was like the biggest movie of that year, right? Like,
right. Oh,
it was.
Oh yeah.
And like having Robert Patrick actually show up to like reprise that character was amazing. So that's like my totally rad thing. It made me giddy because even to this day, like you see Robert Patrick and you're like, that's Terminator. Like he's the T-1000 no matter what he does in life.
Had it been some other movie, maybe it wouldn't be the same, but like Terminator 2 is so iconic now too. Like it's so cool that it's in there. Like it's one of those, this is almost better in 2019 than 1992.
Yeah.
Well, and if Patrick's praise for him for his good job. I love when he does it and Wayne yells and then drives off in the car, but then he walks right after him on the car. I mean, that he was in character the whole time. Like, he wasn't
kind of like started to run a little bit. But then
like he was in character the whole time. Exactly.
It was like that was the best. The other one is when they're playing hockey.
Oh,
in the street.
Iconic.
Just as a kid who grew up playing like hockey in the street, and the whole like car, and then you have to move everything off the street, let the car drive by, and then put everything back in.
Love those guys right there.
Right? Yeah. The hockey.
They're cool. That's a cool pop 2-pack.
I had to pull a Ryan there. That's what he does during our podcast. But anyway.
So the whole thing, it brought me back to my childhood of the yelling car, car, and then you have to move the goal out of the street, get the sticks and everything, let the car drive by, and then you put it out, and then like you do like 2 plays, and then like car, and you have to move it back out again.
And what's funny is nobody was yelling outside their car, honking at them or anything. It was just like, that's how it was back then.
Was. It just brought that, like Larry talked about nostalgia with the old brand logos. To me, that was the nostalgia of like, that was when I was a kid.
That's true, right? Whether it's hockey or baseball or football or whatever, the kids used to play in the street.
Always
do that anymore.
Always, yeah.
There was. Now, I do have a favorite quote though. I have to say, I forgot about Shumi. It's not. It's not any of those. It's a random quote towards the end of the movie that I forgot was even there, and I think it's maybe because I watched a lot of like the edited version on TV that doesn't use this line. But Garth says this line, and it's, "If he was an ice cream, the flavor would be pralines and dick."
Yep.
Like.
If Benjamin was in our ice cream flavor.
You're not getting that on PBS.
Yeah, so on PBS, he has an alternate line that's like the censored one that's not funny at all. It's like Jamocha almond idiot or something like that. But like this one, he's like, his flavor would be pralines and dick. Like, first off, pralines. Like, are you 70? Like, what are you thinking? Like,
right, my grandma's favorite ice cream.
Yeah, it's like pralines and dick. Like it's a quote of the ages. It made me laugh out loud.
Yes.
Any movie that will make me laugh out loud gets my praise. And that one line had me legitimately just like crack up. I was wearing headphones at the time, and people probably thought I was a moron because I was like, like as he yelled it, because I did not see that one coming.
Oh, that's great. So I'm gonna go off topic just for a second now that we're talking about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have all seen The Big Lebowski. I'm sure. The best TV edit is in that movie ever.
Oh, this is what you get when you fuck a man in the ass?
No. It's when wait, that might be it. This is what it feels like when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
Yes, yeah.
And in the edited version, this is what it feels like when you find a stranger in the Alps.
Yeah, right. When you find a stranger in the house, you're
When you
like,
find out, I'm gonna beat the crap out of your car because this is what it feels like when you find a stranger in the Alps. Anyway,
That's awesome. Yeah.
that's what it made me think of.
TV edits are great, but
Yes.
a lot of these movies, if you didn't buy them back in the day on VHS, it was the reruns that were on, TV, like Comedy Central and everything back in the day. That's how I watched Wayne's World and all those things.
Oh,
That's where it aired.
What's funny is I thought we bought the VHS from McDonald's for like $4.
That's
It was one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
I know. Talk about that corporate sellout.
It was great. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Let's just say that this movie has tons of lasting quotes, though, because this feature says what, like
that's where everybody said that like in grade school when this movie came out. I don't specifically remember it being from this until I saw it yesterday.
So I really think of this as like a pre-Anchorman, like baby Anchorman's dad or something, because it's kind of the same thing as in there's so many quotes for everything, I mean, even Tia Carrera gets a few when she's like, yeah, but if frog had wings, it wouldn't bump his ass when it jumped, kind of thing.
Right, you're
so,
like, what?
Yeah, but interesting.
To this day, I still say, excuse me, bacon powder.
Oh yeah. I say Zang. I say Zang all the time when I say thumbs up.
Yeah.
Cantonese for excellent, apparently.
Yeah. The whole reverse joke about the whole, then like they'll have dub movies, they'll talk and they'll be like 3 lines. So in this one, instead, he's like, Bojang, and it's like
there's
3 lines of
3
dialogue.
paragraphs. They just keep going. And they're just waiting around.
I just like that. They do the reverse thing. It's like the Grey Poupon thing. Like, who doesn't remember?
And I didn't remember it being that funny at the time, but it was hilarious.
It's the nostalgia thing of the old school Grey Poupon commercials.
Same. I think it was pretty funny at the time,
right?
But it's even better now because who thinks about Grey Poupon anymore?
Right, but just the guy's reaction.
Yeah.
So
I do. One of my backups, by the way. I just want to share one more since we're laughing. Is when they're in the Stan Mikita's donut place trying to make the plan, and they go, "Well, first, Wayne opens the door, and he's like, "What are you gonna do with these guys?" "Oh, nothing, probably. I just always wanted to open a door of a guy who's training like in James Bond films."
It's the guys like fighting, like this ninjas fighting or whatever.
Yeah,
just the stuff that randomly put in there makes me laugh.
That cop, the cop outside the donut shop was pretty good too.
Oh yeah,
right. The cavity searches and stuff.
I inspected 17 individuals.
Really good movie.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. It is extremely quotable, and I will be quoting it more so now that I've been forced to rewatch it.
Right.
So with every movie, we give this the rating. I think now is time. Let's rate Wayne's World. Right now, we don't rate this based off of quality towards newer age movies. Right. This is an entirely different beast. We're going to rate this off of entertainment factor, but I will admit on this one, you could almost rate this with modern day comedies and it would still be a contender. But let's go back with out of 5. Let's go around here. What is everyone's official totally rad rating for this movie? Clint, you go.
For people our age, it's a 4.5. For anybody younger than us, it might be a 4. I think we get a little more extra out of it being the age that really can appreciate it.
Yeah.
But totally quotes. One thing that we didn't mention either, I love that this movie has a mid and an end credit scene, which is unheard of basically from 1992.
Back in the 90s? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing, captivating or anything.
It's them on the couch being like, I hope you guys like our movie.
And at the end, they're like, is anybody going to tell us to leave?
They're probably just going to fade to black, and then it fades to black. He's like,
I can't believe they did that.
Yeah. So, it is very much an unheard of. We were watching it. What was the other one that we watched that had that like mid-credit scene, Larry, that we were surprised with?
I remember it happening. I don't remember.
Was it Better Off Dead?
Yes,
it might have been.
Yeah, I think Better Off Dead. Where we're like, wait, this one has an end credit scene. Yeah. No. He-Man, Master of the Universe. You have the Skeletor popping out of the water.
Yeah.
At the very end. But we're like,
end,
we're like, holy shit, this movie has an end credit scene back in the day.
Wow.
So we have chalked up to additional ones. It's more prevalent than we thought. Larry, out of 5, what is yours?
I'm surprised the guy wearing the Wayne's World hat didn't give it a 5, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5. I thought it was a great movie. Totally holds up. Really good jokes. Like I said before, like I think it's ahead of its time with a lot of those jokes. I just really enjoyed it. It's so far, like we've watched some bad movies. This one wasn't bad.
No,
really good.
This was one that I would legitimately continue to watch.
Yeah, I kind of want to go watch Wayne's World 2 now.
Yeah, we might have to do that one.
And I well, if you do, invite me back, please.
Well,
we will.
Well, yeah. I kind of want to watch it non-podcast, but yeah, sometime soon we should reboot and have you back on and watch Wayne's World 2.
Either way,
as I remember, a lot of the stuff I thought was in Wayne's World 1 is actually in Wayne's World 2.
Yeah,
and it was vice versa. When we were talking to T1000, I thought that was T2 watching it, and then like, oh yeah, it's this one. So totally agree.
Yeah, so
they just blend together.
Right.
Like Clint, there's 2 ratings for this that I have because I agree with you.
Yeah.
For people our age and like that kind of grew up with SNL and everything, I'm gonna give it a 5. Like Larry, like this thing entertained the living hell out of me. Even the parts I thought were dumb, I could at least laugh at and enjoy. Like even if I didn't like it, I still was like, it doesn't take anything away from the movie. But if you're like I have a brother-in-law who's about 10 years younger than myself. And I think if he watched it, he would miss half of those references because it was just way past his time. So if you're born like mid-90s or later, you're going to miss a lot of those jokes. I'm going to give it a 3 for those folks.
Oh, wow.
But a 5 for... Like, I know that you dropped it down a little bit. I'm dropping it down pretty far because there's a ton of those jokes that they're going to be like, oh,
I get it.
What's the Grey Poupon? Like, why is that's weird?
True.
Like, but for me, it is a 5 out of 5, and for most of the people that are the audience for this show, it's a 5 out of 5.
I just couldn't give it a perfect rating. I felt bad doing that. That's all.
For this, we're going perfect. It's better than Theodore Rex. So but a 5 out of 5 for me.
I could stand up and dance, and that'd be better than Theodore Rex.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So perfect. Does anybody else have anything else left to say about Wayne's World? Any final thoughts before we call it an end here?
No, just thank you to Clint for saying we should watch it and joining us. Like like I said, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I got to watch it.
Well, thank you for including me. I'm actually needed to rewatch too, so I appreciate you guys doing it. First of all, I actually was just excited to hear your thoughts when I asked about it, but it's thrilled to be on here and talk about it and just laugh about it again. Thank you. Right. This is awesome, and
so cool.
I love that you guys do this. I know others do too.
Yeah. So Clint,
thank you.
One more time, remind everybody if they want to see more of you, where can they find you?
Sure. So at Collector Clint, Twitter and Instagram, I will repost everything that I'm a part of. So Geek Together, I almost said STS Guys, which I'm not part of. I love listening. I will retweet, but I'm not part of. But you should listen to them as well. But the Four Dorksmen and of course Geek Together. Also feel free to check out. But before I go on, Wasted did just ask, show of hands, how many of you used the camera 1, camera 2 trick in your life? I've used it this week. So yeah, perfect. I definitely have.
Yeah.
The other place one other podcast I want to just pitch real quick, besides the Secondary Hero you should be listening to, is Friends, the Pueblocos. Look them up. They have actually 3 podcasts in that network, and one of them is The Watchmen, and they're doing a series where they're doing 16 movies, all in 1984, and they're dwindling it down to the best movie of 1984. And there's some good ones: Ghostbusters, Gremlins.
Yeah, it's a great. I can tell you 100%, it's Ghostbusters all the way.
They're big fans. But I mean, like one of them loves Terminator. Terminator came out then.
Sure. Not T2.
Not T2.
It's so no, I know, but I'm saying if you watch Terminator 1 after watching T2, Terminator 1 is awful.
Yes. And it's funny you say that because I was part of that episode, joining them when we compared Dune and T1. So
okay, well in that case, yeah.
Well, yes. You won't be surprised by the ending on that one, but it's still very entertaining. They just did Spinal Tap and Police Academy. For the comedy section. So give them a listen if you get a chance, guys, because they're good. But anyway, at Collector Clint and then all those other fun podcasts. Give us a listen, a follow, and please interact because that's what makes this the most fun.
Yeah. Sorry. Now, Larry.
Oh,
we've had Clint do his. You do your thing. Where can they find us and the other us?
The big sister, you.
The big sister.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
And just to add on, I'm a big fan specifically of Four Dorksmen and Geek Together. Plus everything else Clint mentioned is great too. But really enjoy those 2 podcasts. And if you'd enjoy the Totally Rad Movie Podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram at Totally Rad Pod. And then, like Scott said, we're also on this STS Guys thing, live on YouTube every Saturday night, except for this Saturday.
This upcoming one?
Yeah, except for tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. No episode tomorrow because most of us will be busy. But
Yeah.
Excellent. I hope you're doing something fun.
Almost every Saturday night. And you can follow the STS Guys at STS Guys on Twitter and Instagram.
And if you're not, you're missing out.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring up something here though too. For as Clint, you mentioned interaction. One thing that we love. This was the Wayne's World was a suggestion from Clint as something that we watch. We are always welcome, always welcome people to come and tell us like, hey, watch this movie. Generally, it's me and Larry go to lunch one day and are like, we go through a list of movies and we're like, which one do you not remember very well? And he's like, this one. And we're like, all right, that's the one we're going to do. If you have a suggestion, if there's a movie that you love or you're like, I remember this being a train wreck, send it to us. Let us know. We'll add it to our list and we will, I promise we will get to it and we will make fun. We will make fun of your favorite movie. Like, I promise you, we will do that. So send us any suggestions that you have.
Yeah, I'll be sending more because there's plenty, and I want to hear.
There is. That's why, like,
from
these last 2 decades,
like, right? We were just talking on the STS Guys one day, and because we were talking about the Top Gun reboot thing, and like, I'm just like, there's so many like 80s movies we could watch. And here we are. It's
right.
By the way, have you played Top Gun for the NES yet?
I haven't. Dang. You know, Clint, I haven't hooked up my Nintendo. I've got
reason, actually.
Yeah, I've got like pretty much all my other game systems set up now, but I haven't actually brought out the Nintendo yet. I still need to play Top Gun.
You'll do Top Gun. You'll do the little flying mission. You'll do
I'm
the
sure
air,
I'll play
air
for 5
mission,
minutes. Yeah.
And then you'll try to land on the aircraft carrier. You'll crash. You'll get pissed.
You'll be
and
done.
you're gonna turn it off.
Throw the controller.
I have never been to level 2 of that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been to level 3 once because I actually did land it once.
Like one time.
One time. I think I didn't listen to directions at all. I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah, and got it done. You're like, holy shit, I did it. Like, I think anytime I've ever succeeded has been by complete accident.
Yeah.
So
totally.
So with that, let's go ahead and end. Clint, once again, thank you for coming on and enjoying the movie with us.
Thank you for including me.
For episode 9. Or is it 8?
No, it's 9.
It's 9. I think I messed up the timeline.
No, you got it right at the beginning, I think.
Yeah,
you're good.
I thought it was 8.
So it could be wrong. I am really bad with episode numbers. I need to stop actually bringing it up, and I'll be good.
For this week's episode.
It's
part of the charm, Scott. Keep doing it.
Yeah, for of the Totally Right podcast. I have been Scott.
Hey, it's Larry.
And everybody, have a great night. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.